May the enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
This area of the palace is forbidden to visitors, by order of the Mother Cardinal.
We did not know. Please, excuse us.
The basements are for servants only.
Very well. We'll go back up.
All of our products are... Welcome to the best holy item shop in San Mateus.
Do you like it here in San Mateus?
It is impossible not to like it here. The air is purer than it is on the continent. The malachor is far away. And rumor has it that this island is the one Saint Mateus himself chose as his final resting place. Goodbye. May the enlightened always keep you in his divine. Don't hesitate to have a rummage around. Goodbye. May the enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
This is a very unique place. The smell of stupor and vice reign as its masters.
You're not wrong. We should search the... Oh, for goodness sake. This room reeks of alcohol.
And not just any old alcohol, if my nose does not deceive me. Cornelia always had great taste when it came to drinking.
It seems that someone forgot their earring.
Ugh, here is an object of more than questionable taste. A woman from a good family would never wear it. It's junk. The kind of thing a courtesan would wear.
I didn't know you were an expert on the subject, Father.
The subject of jewelry?
No, of courtesans.
We are here at the heart of human depravity. Outrageous luxury, excessively priced alcohol, obvious
Surely this is enough to incriminate them.
No, my child. These things are common in certain circles, even in Thélème, unfortunately. Cornelia may well have organized these things for others. These parties might be of use in gaining some political. We must find out who is involved and learn more.
The earring that we found may help us with that. We could ask at the brothel if it belongs to a prostitute.
We should continue searching. Perhaps we missed something.
Locked.
This document is highly important. By reading it carefully, you could learn a lot. The Mother Cardinal apparently borrows large amounts of money from a moneylender. Actually, enormous sums.
What's more, she does so quite regularly. How does she manage to give it all back?
And the name Candy Cane crops up several times. Quite suspicious, don't you think?
This sweet person must be doing her huge favors to get these sums. I think we have everything we need. There is probably a connection between these pleasure parties and the account books. Let's ask a few questions.
The moneylender is well established. He can be found near the main square. As for this Candy Cane, the name doesn't ring any bells to me, but the moneylender must know more about him.
We can also go and gather information at the Coin Tavern. Perhaps the manager knows him.
Don't hesitate to have a rummage around. Goodbye. May the enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
feast for the eyes, ladies and gentlemen, and it's free. Come and see me as soon as you have made your choice. You won't be disappointed. Of that I can assure you. Come on. So, have you found what you were looking for?
Let's just say that I'm gathering information.
My treasures are worth their price. I promise you that you will get your money's worth. For you, I'm sure we can make a special arrangement.
Here you are.
Thank you, my lady. I'll let you take your pick.
Thank you.
Look, a new face. Oh, but wouldn't that be... Hello, Father.
Oh, hello.
We would like to know if you know who this earring belongs to. Is it maybe yours?
Absolutely not. I am careful not to leave my belongings with clients, and I have no desire to answer your questions. That doesn't fall within my services.
Very well. Goodbye.
There are too many of you for me alone, my little lambs.
Sorry, madam, but we are here to ask other favors of you. This question might seem a little surprising, but do you know who this earring might belong to?
Why? It's mine. I lost it when... How did you get hold of it?
Are you sure you want to broach that subject here?
You're right. Come with me. Well, what do you want? Why are you giving me back my earring?
You know where we found it, don't you?
Obviously. I realized as soon as I got back that I'd lost it.
I imagine your pimp does not know that you take part in these parties. He doesn't dabble in this at all?
No. Do not say anything to him, I beg you. He's on my case enough as it is.
Then I suggest you answer my...
What would you like to know?
Could you tell us who you saw at the parties?
Rich people, or better. They seemed very rich and important to me. But I don't know them.
Do you know who organizes these parties?
Not really, no. A steward pays me when I go, but I don't see anyone else, apart from the clients.
You can't even give me a single name?
No. The only person who sometimes speaks to this steward is a woman who is always wearing a green coat. She never takes part in the festivities, but the steward rushes over whenever she arrives.
Do you think that an important person from Thélème could have partaken in these soirees?
You're thinking of Mother Cardinal, aren't you? You lot really think we are a bunch of degenerates.
You're hardly a shining example of virtue, my child. Just answer our questions.
Sorry, Father, I don't know the Mother Cardinal, but I strongly doubt she dabbles in that.
You don't think you could recognize her, and you don't think you've crossed paths. What a testimony. Admit it. You must know more than you're letting on. It's virtually impossible not to recognize someone while being so close to these influential people. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I was able to recognize someone, once. Even with a mask on, I'm good at recognizing my clients.
Please continue. I'm all ears.
I don't want to implicate anyone, but he is of no real importance, and you've probably never even heard of him. It's the local moneylender.
I know very well who you're referring to, my dear.
But I didn't mention anything to you, huh? This stays between us.
I don't even remember the subject of this conversation anymore. This woman in the green coat, could you tell me about her?
She always hides her face and never joins us. Then she disappears into a little office and locks the door.
I see. She is quite important, then. Do you know someone who goes by the name of Candy Cane?
Everyone does. He is a powerful person, so his name makes the rounds.
Have you ever spotted him at these pleasure parties?
In all honesty, I wouldn't even be able to recognize him. I've heard his name before, but that's all.
Thank you for your help.
Be sure not to mention this to anyone. I'd lose my clients if they suspected me of speaking about them, you know.
Can I get you anything?
I'm here for something else. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
If you wish. What would you like to know?
I am looking for a woman who comes here. She always wears a long green coat.
Yes, I have seen this coat before, but I have no idea who is beneath it, if that's what you're asking. All I know is that I've seen her speaking to a regular, a steward of the palace who comes to place big orders. Always prime choice.
What can you tell me about a certain Candy Cane?
Candy Cane? Everyone speaks about him, or has heard of him, but no one really knows him.
And what do they say about him?
Here, nothing. You need to go downstairs for that sort of thing.
To the games room and the brothel?
Yes, that's more the kind of place where they'd talk about him.
I have to go. I will leave you to your work. Good day.
Welcome. You here to wager? To fight?
I imagine that the name Candy Cane rings a bell.
Obviously. Even though I would prefer it wasn't the case. He's a sort of organizer. He captures most of the beasts who fight in the arena.
How is that a problem?
Apparently, he's fixed a few fights. These kind of rumors aren't good for my business.
If that's the case, why don't you stop him?
He has friends, protectors. Without solid evidence, no one will lift a finger. And the only ones who wanted to speak of his cartel have disappeared.
Do you know where I could find him?
He often hangs out around the port at night, but I strongly advise you to stay away from the guy.
I know how to look after myself. Thanks for the information. I am looking for someone. A woman wearing a big green coat.
Yeah, I know who you mean. She's a good client. She comes in, especially for the big fights, and she has prime information.
Do you know where I can find her?
No, I don't even know her name.
She wouldn't happen to be coming back to collect some winnings, would she?
No, and I can't really tell you when she'll show up next.
I must be going.
Next time, then.
Can I help you?
Yes, actually. I have a small favor to ask.
You don't look like you need money from me.
I'll get straight to the point. I have bad news for you. I know about the decadent parties at the palace. I know that you take part in them.
What? But what are you talking about?
Stop acting all innocent. I have all the evidence I need to incriminate you. Although your reputation isn't spotless, there are others who have a lot more at stake than you. What if I were to spread it around town that you boast about being there? You know what happens when tongues wag too much.
That's enough! All right, I get the message. What do you want?
It would appear that you know the Mother Cardinal very well. I know that she borrowed money from you. I even know how much. What I want to know is why.
I have no idea. Do you really think that my clients tell me everything about their lives?
Does she still owe you money?
No, she always pays me back on time, and with interest.
Do you think she is plundering the city funds?
Ha! If that were the case, the funds would have been depleted long ago. Nah, the money's coming from elsewhere.
Tell me about Candy Cane.
We're not close, if that's what you want to know. I just know his name, like everyone else. I mean, there are some rumours. They say he does his business in the basement of the Coin Tavern.
What kind of business?
Oh, nothing to do with my line of business. He deals in arena fights, which are beyond me.
I would advise you to keep all of this to yourself.
I don't want any trouble. I will be as silent as a stone.
So, how do you see things, my child?
I think that the usurer is lending money to the Cardinal, and very significant sums at that. With this money, she bets on the arena fights while hiding in a big green coat. And she also gives large amounts to a certain Candy Cane, known for fixing fights.
Not only does our dear Cornelia love betting games, but she also wouldn't think twice about cheating to win.
Maybe he is just giving her advice. How can we prove anything?
We can always try asking him. Who knows? Perhaps he will give us an answer. Kane is not here. At least not yet. Remember, my child, the bookmaker told us that he hangs around here at night.
That's true, you were right. Let's come back later.
Candy Cane is not here. At least not yet. Remember, my child, the bookmaker told us that he hangs around here at night.
That's true, you were right. Let's come back later.
Candy Cane is not here. At least not yet. Remember, my child, the bookmaker told us that he hangs around here at night.
That's true, you were right. Let's come back later.
May the Enlightened bless you.
Good evening. Are you the one they call Candy Cane?
Who are you?
Desardet, legate of the merchant congregation.
A legate, no less. I imagine in these cases, the one accompanying you is the famous Petrus.
You seem to be very well informed. Therefore, you might be able to answer my question. What do you know about a woman in a green coat?
Why would I tell you?
We know that you have business with this woman, and that she is actually the Mother Cardinal.
How did you... You would be better off forgetting that.
That's not exactly the response I'd imagined. But nevertheless, seems rather eloquent.
I told you to forget about it, or you'll soon run into trouble. Legate or no legate.
Come on. It was just an innocent little conversation. Goodbye, Mr. Kane.
Bye. And Godspeed.
We have enough information.
Really? Is the fact that she bets on fights that are potentially fixed enough for you?
It's already a huge scandal. Let me just think about it for a little while. I will find a way of putting this information to good use.
I have faith in you, Father.
this battle!
To my help! And death to the others!
Let the shadow engulf our enemies! Your magic is running out! Take a potion!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Protect me in this battle!
To my help! And death to the others!
Your magic is running out! Take a potion!
All these miracles work
Let the shadow engulf our enemies!
Things are about to get dicey!
Green blood, my friend. I can't stop thinking about Raynor and what happened to him. Let me know when you're ready to accompany me to those bastards. I need the help of my best student.
How can I refuse such a request? Well then, let's go. An astounding place.
It is the village of Eden the Cardinal Mother told you about. The place where natives and priests live together. I must admit that I'm curious to see it.
All that's left to do is find Father Justinius.
To my help! And death to the others!
Shadow engulf our enemies!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Your magic is running out! Protect me in this battle! To my help! And death to the others!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Greetings. My caravan goes through all the cities, and the journey is safe. So, where would you like to go?
Thank you, but I'll continue on foot.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle. To my help, and death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! May the shadow engulf our enemies! To get dicey! Protect me in this battle! To my health! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! May the shadow engulf our enemies! Your magic is running out! Take a potion! I was informed of your arrival by my sentinels, but I didn't think it would be you, Kurt.
Rolf, you're the leader of this camp.
You two know each other.
We train together. We haven't seen each other in a long time. A very long time.
The world of warriors is very small, Kurt. What brings you here, my old And who are these people with you? They're not one of us?
My name is de Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Bishop Petrus. May the enlightened guide you.
These people sure are important. So, what are you doing here?
I've heard things about this place. About this very special camp.
And we wanted to see what it was all about with our own eyes.
That's very nice of you, but visitors aren't welcome in this camp. What goes on here is only the guards' business.
Does the same apply to me?
Listen, Kurt. I can give you and your friends some answers, but only because it's you. Anyway, knowing you as well as I do, I'm aware I'm not going to get rid of you that easily. So, what would you like to know?
What is it you do here? And why is this place kept secret, even from your comrades in the guard?
The natives have their magic, and we have to train elites to be able to face them. That's what we're doing here. Our role is sensitive, and our location obviously cannot be revealed to the whole island.
I see the reason for this kind of training. The Bridge Alliance would be particularly interested in soldiers like these. And yet I've never heard of this elite squadron.
We're still in the early stages of the program. We don't want to rush things. And our leaders demand secrecy. Orders are orders.
This is a huge camp for such a secret location. How's it organized?
The main building is reserved for officers and the wounded. The front and rear of the camp are dedicated to combat training. But most exercises take place outside.
Impressive. And how do you manage recruitment?
Only the best come here. Those who have combat experience. Once they arrive, they're separated into 2 squadrons, each led and trained by a lieutenant. But you already know all of this, Kurt. It must bring back memories.
Yes.
Will you tell us about your training?
That's a sensitive topic. Most exercises take place in the field to get the men used to it. The natives' knowledge of the environment gives them as much of an advantage as their magic. But if you want to know more, you should ask my lieutenant instructor.
Actually, we found out about this camp while we were looking for someone.
A kid I recruited. Rainer.
Oh. I didn't know he was one of yours. My condolences. I was told he died in an accident in the harbor.
Don't insult my intelligence.
All right. Since you're here, I guess there's no point in lying to you anymore. The accident occurred during a maneuver. It's regrettable, but these things happen, you know?
We've taken up enough of your time, Captain.
I agree, and I have things to do.
I'd like to question your lieutenant instructors, if you don't mind. To ask them about Rainer.
You've become a real sap. Fine. But try not to disrupt the day's schedule too much. Goodbye.
I'm sorry. I couldn't contain my anger.
I noticed. Good thing you know this captain so well. I don't think he would have let us investigate otherwise.
I'm not sure it's a good thing, really.
Your aversion is clear. But is it him that you hate? Or what the camp represents, my son?
Rolf doesn't bring back good memories for me. But let's continue. I want to know what's going on here. Lieutenant!
Respectfully, Captain.
Here is my friend, the legate of the merchant congregation. She would like to ask you a few questions.
At your orders. I'm listening, sires.
How do the various squadrons in this camp differ from one another?
The recruits I train are intended to carry out more subtle actions.
Really? What kind?
I teach them how to blend into the background, understand customs, observe, and know when to strike.
That's strange. These skills are normally associated with assassins rather than soldiers.
These skills are always useful, regardless of the enemy or the setting.
What kind of training do your men undergo?
I can't go into details, but they learn discipline and to outdo themselves.
You mean to blindly follow orders, even to their death?
But No, Captain. We also teach them to analyze situations, so that they know when to act to avoid risking their lives.
How did you become an instructor in this camp?
I have led numerous squadrons before, and I've trained hundreds of recruits on the continent. I worked with Captain Rolfe in the past, and when I arrived on the island, he recommended me for this position.
That's very impressive. And I expect that you're familiar with the natives' environment and magic.
Yes, of course.
Kurt, don't you think that someone this talented fits what we're looking for? You see, we need to find someone who can replace Kurt to oversee my cousin's security.
Your cousin is the governor of New Serene, I've heard. It's a prestigious position. I don't doubt my abilities, but an offer like this, made so suddenly, must have a price.
We can't hide anything from you.
We're trying to find out what happened to Rainer, a recruit who trained here.
That name doesn't sound familiar. He must have been in the Shadow Squadron.
The other lieutenant's squadron?
Yes. I'm sorry, haven't been much use to you. Did something happen to him?
He died. His body was thrown into the harbor to make it look like he drowned.
I guess it was one of your recruits. My condolences, Captain.
We'll question some of your soldiers.
At your orders, but please be quick. I'd like to get on with training.
Hello, soldier.
Captain?
We need information. Your instructor authorized us to question you.
Of course, madam. I'm listening.
How would you describe your training? Do you train outside the camp much?
Yes, we do. Well, not exclusively.
Really? Yet we've been told that your unit specialized in actions over difficult terrain.
Yes, I think so. Well, yes, that's true.
Problems remembering things, soldier?
No, Captain.
What's it like in your squadron?
Very good. The Phantom Squadron is made up only of the very best.
Do you trust your comrades?
We're like 5 fingers on one hand, madam. I would trust them with my life.
You've sure got the military spirit.
Yes, Captain.
We've learned that a recruit died in an accident during a maneuver. Does this happen often?
No. Of course not. Only to those who aren't strong enough.
That's strange. I was told that this recruit was very talented.
I don't know what to tell you. It's possible. If you don't mind, I'd like to get back to my training.
He seems afraid that an accident might befall him too.
No, it's not that. I just don't want to fall behind schedule.
Very well. Go on.
Excellence. Captain.
These kids are scared to death.
Yes. This boy's answers about his training seem pretty dubious to me.
You can't hide the lies. Soldier!
Captain!
At ease, soldier.
We'd like to learn more about your training.
I have nothing to say about it, my lady.
Really? Go on, it's not a difficult question. What do you do during training?
Is this a test, Captain?
No, it's not a test. You may speak freely.
Well, training is difficult, but we can't complain, Captain.
That's an interesting way to phrase it. You're very united in this squadron. At least that's what I've been told.
United. You could say that, yes. Until death.
That's rather sinister. Does the name Raynor sound familiar to you?
Yeah. Well, no, not really.
You seem rather hesitant. Afraid of being reprimanded by your lieutenant?
No. Well, not at all. It's just that I can't tell you anything about Recruit Raynor. And we're lucky to have the Lieutenant as our instructor, Captain.
We should leave this soldier to his work.
Your name, soldier?
Wilhelm. First-class recruit Wilhelm, Spectre Squadron.
Keep it up, Wilhelm.
This recruit, Wilhelm, in spite of himself, led on more than the others.
His resentment is clear. But he won't divulge anything as long as his instructors are nearby.
Lieutenant.
Captain.
My friend here would like to learn more about this camp.
At your orders, Captain. Madam?
Can you tell us about your squadron?
The recruits who come here are the best. And in my squadron, they get even better. I don't know what else to tell you. They're disciplined, rigorous, and effective. Exactly what you'd expect from the best soldiers.
What kind of training takes place in your ranks?
Combat in natural settings. Combat against the savages' magic.
I'm very curious about how you train against the magic the natives use.
Now, these are complex, secret maneuvers. I'm very sorry, but I can't tell you any more.
That's a pity. It would definitely be instructive.
I heard the recruit Raynor trained here. What can you tell me about him?
Oh, he was a good one. He died a little while ago.
So we've heard. Your captain told us he died during a maneuver. Can you tell us more?
The training we do outside can be dangerous. Unfortunately, Raynor fell to his death in a ravine.
He fell?
During a simulated ambush. I know, it's not glorious, but it happens. I'd like to get back to work now, if you'll allow it, Captain.
Go on. We're gonna go talk to some of your recruits.
I hope that it won't take too long. We're all very busy here.
We'll be quick, Lieutenant.
The story about training against magic is a lie. This lieutenant has no idea what he's talking about.
So what could they be training recruits for here, then?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I don't like it. Soldier!
Yes, Captain.
At ease. We have some questions for you.
Me? At your orders, Captain.
You look exhausted. Is training that rough here?
It's difficult at first, but you get through it. Taming fatigue. That's the key to it all.
Haven't you ever wanted to stop? You've never doubted your vocation.
I'm not a coward, nor a weakling. The strength of the shadow.
What is that? Your motto?
Our squadron's, Captain.
You seem concerned about your comrades. You keep looking at them.
No, not at all.
Are you afraid of what they might think of you?
Absolutely not, Captain. We are all of one mind in this squadron. We are very united.
Since this is such a close-knit squadron, you must have known Raynor.
Yes, of course. But he's not part of the squadron any longer. He left.
Really?
I don't know what you're trying to get me to say, Captain. Raynor left the squadron because he was sent on a mission. There's nothing more to say.
Sorry, mate, but that's not what happened.
I don't know anything more.
Thank you. That will be all.
Thank you, madam. Captain.
Lieutenants, report.
Captain?
Could you give us a few minutes and take us around the site? I've never been here before, and I'm curious to see what goes on.
I'm not sure if we can, Captain.
We are on duty, Captain.
Right, Lieutenant. Let's go! Are you coming with us?
No, thank you. I'd rather stay here. Take in some fresh air.
As you like. In that case, see you later.
Wilhelm, we need to talk. And don't worry, Captain Kurt will make sure your superior doesn't come this way.
Why are you doing this?
We didn't think you'd say anything as long as she was here.
If you noticed, others will have too. They'll make me pay.
Even more reason to talk. If we have proof, we can take action and close this camp.
Very well. What would you like to know?
What's really going on here? We know that Raina didn't die in an accident.
This is supposed to be a training camp for the Guard's elite. Only the most talented recruits are allowed to join. This is an immense honor, an extraordinary chance. That's what we're told every day. But in reality, it's just hell.
Tell me about the training you undergo here.
It's more torture than anything else. We're constantly beaten and humiliated, and the slightest complaint only leads to more blows. They even push us to police one another, so we don't dare talk. Whatever the orders, we put our heads down, grit our teeth, and obey.
It reminds me of the Ordo Luminis's interrogation methods. The poor buggers end up admitting to anything at all, accepting the unacceptable.
I heard them tell you about the specialist training against the natives in hostile environments. But what they teach us would be more useful for assassins.
As for Raina, do you know what happened to him?
Yes. One day he just couldn't stand it any longer. He disobeyed orders, he fought back, and people got hurt. That's when things blew up. They summoned him for night training.
What does that entail?
It doesn't have much to do with real training. They call us up for it at the last minute. The weakest serve as punching bags for the others, who are encouraged to beat them. If we refuse, we too become the targets. So we join in and strike. If you're looking to punish Raina's murderer, you can start with me. We all have his blood on our hands.
Thank you for telling us all of this. You should get back to your comrades.
I hope you can do something. Have this camp closed. Otherwise, I'll soon be as dead as Raina.
We understand the risk you've taken. We won't let you down.
Thank you. Really. That was truly fascinating.
Captain?
I've seen everything I needed to see. You can leave us.
Yes, Captain.
Shall we go?
Kurt, Wilhelm has spoken.
What did he tell you?
He said the recruits go through hell. They are humiliated, spy on each other, get bullied. It's essentially torture. Raina wouldn't stand for these methods. He rebelled and was summoned for night training.
Are you sure he used...
Yes. But he told me it's not really training. That recruits are summoned.
And the others beat them. Sometimes to death. I know.
You know about this kind of training?
Yeah. I thought it was a thing of the past. What a monster. How dare he?
I'm so sorry. I'm lost for words. Tell me, did you learn anything new?
I scouted out the site. There's 2 parts of the barracks we should look at more closely. Rolf's quarters and the basement, which they refused to open for me.
These people's methods are despicable. But we can't just charge into the fray. Innocent people could get hurt. What do you want to do, my son?
Let's wait for nightfall. We'll sneak into the camp unseen, search the barracks, the private quarters, and then the basement.
We might also try to find out where this night training takes place.
Yes. I wouldn't want other young recruits to lose their lives tonight. Especially Wilhelm.
Strange. There's no one left in this part of the camp.
Maybe they're in the combat pit behind the barracks. I saw it when I visited the camp. Or they've already left for their night training. Let's find Rolf's office. He surely has the key to the basement.
This letter is disturbing, Kurt. It confirms that several deaths have been disguised in order to keep this camp secret. But it says that the recruits trained here have been assigned to governors from different cities. And yet I'm sure that Constantine knows nothing about these elite units. The conclusion of the letter also confirms that the commander is pleased with what's been going on here.
So Torsten knew.
So it seems. Including about the deaths.
He's gone too far. He dishonors us all. Sieglinde was right.
Locked. This room. What could have happened in here?
I know this smell only too well. Fear, blood, death.
The Ordo Luminis would surely envy such a place if they knew it existed.
This document explains a lot. They torture the soldiers to break them. Rayner shows up on this list more than once. He gave them a lot of problems.
Those who resist too much are lynched during night training. Rolf, you'll pay for this.
Kurt, Wilhelm's name was added to tonight's training.
These monsters want to make him pay for the help he gave us. The poor child will probably not survive.
We can't let them kill him. We must stop this training immediately.
The risk is that Rolf will ambush us.
If this boy dies because of us, I will never forgive myself. I refuse to let these recruits pay for the bastards who manipulate them. Let's avoid spilling blood in vain.
These children are victims, yes. But they are armed victims. Are you sure they'll spare us in return?
They're just kids. There has to be a way to reason with them.
We'll do what we can, Kurt. I can't promise anything more.
Maybe unless you protect me in this battle. To my health, and death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Kurt, you're so predictable. I knew you were a bastard, but I didn't think you'd be part of this disgrace.
Have fun, soldiers! The traitors must die!
Stop! Soldiers, are you really going to obey these scoundrels? Do I need to remind you of the Guard's motto? Where is your honor?
I won't repeat myself, recruits. Execute these traitors!
Soldiers, listen to your captain. You are the victims of these monsters, and we are here to save you. We surrendered without resistance, to avoid a fight and to spare your lives.
Well, what do you want us to do? We have orders, and we know what will happen to us if we don't obey.
Enough! To arms! Attack!
Must I remind you what happened to Raina?
And however many others perished to fuel the ambitions of this camp's leader.
Is this what you were promised when you were recruited?
Maybe not. But this is how one becomes an elite soldier. The best!
Exactly. And no tenderfoot in a silk suit would understand anything about it.
Attack!
Maybe unless you protect me in this battle.
To my help, and death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
May the shadow engulf our enemies! Your magic is running out. Take a potion. May the shadow engulf our enemies! Be careful! Your armor is falling apart!
Move away! Things are
You're finally here.
Sorry, Captain.
The boy resisted longer than planned.
I hope your troops are ready for a real fight. They just crushed your comrades.
Captain Kurt and these courtiers just decimated a whole squadron.
Don't underestimate them. They were able to beat us.
Shut up. Your troops were weak and you're the only one responsible.
What have you done with Wilhelm?
He received the punishment for traitors and insurgents, like Rainer before him.
Kurt, I'm terribly sorry. We should have...
saved him first. We're responsible for his death.
By the enlightened, Kurt. Don't let your guilt blind you when the boy's murderers stand before you.
You're right. For Wilhelm! For Rainer!
Recruits! Attack!
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
To my help! And death to the others!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Will you be all right, Kurt?
Yes. Yes. I'll be fine. I'm just glad to know that this camp won't kill anyone else. What a waste. I can't believe these orders came from the top.
What do you want us to do?
I'll need backup if I really want to put an end to all of this. We must go see Major Sieglinder in New Serene. I need to tell her what was going on here.
Are you sure she wasn't involved?
Her? Never. She's old school. She already held the commander at a distance because she didn't like the direction the Guard was headed. He would have sacked her, or worse, if she didn't have so much support within the Guard. I should have listened to her.
There's no use brooding over the past. Let's go. We'll go see her immediately.
Sieglinder, I need to talk to you.
What's the matter, Kurt?
We've just returned from a training camp. A secret camp, where elite soldiers are trained through terror, humiliation, and torture.
Don't tell me that.
Yes. One of my recruits died, and he wasn't the only one. It is designed to create a regiment of assassins.
I am sorry, Kurt. I knew something was wrong, but I never would have thought it'd go that far.
We put an end to it all. We had to. But Torsten allowed it, even encouraged it.
I told you that the commander's ambition would end up leading us astray from the ideals of the Guard, and that we would pay the price for it.
Yes. At the time, I told you you were exaggerating. That he had his reasons.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to speak out, Sieglinder. And reveal the commander's project to the governor of the congregation.
If I were as close to him and his family as you are, I would have done so a long time ago.
I know. I feel so stupid for not having understood Torsten's scheme until now.
You've always been a loyal person, Kurt. And too many loyalties are sometimes hard to reconcile. But Torsten betrayed us all. I'm counting on you to make him pay for it.
Believe me, he won't get away with it. Goodbye, Sieglinder.
Goodbye, Kurt. My men and I stand with you.
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. Desardet. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
I wonder what really happened when the missionaries came to settle here.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence. Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on Saint Matthias is conducted.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas. I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us. Or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matthias later. But first, we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to, but I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
I imagine that someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village has been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings, and then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of Saint Matthias. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful. Thank you. I will let you work. Greetings. Desarde. I'm handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Do you suspect anyone?
Not really. What I can tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Well, Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit. All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money we could make out of them.
Do you think the culprit could be a
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here, and the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our...
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there. And why does it matter, anyway? There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove Saint Matthias lived here. Our actions on this island are justified. To keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things. Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village. I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues, so we could give them a fresh outlook on things. We arrived straight from Ptolemy, hoping to study some new texts. But once we were here, I understood that my real mission was with the islanders. We must bring the light to them.
How are your relations with the natives?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain information from them about Saint Matthias. But they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate them. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react badly. Most stubborn against our teachings, the warriors, and the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi. They eventually left, and it has proved nothing but a blessing for us. I would like to go back to work now, if you don't mind.
Of course. I will leave you to your work. Goodbye.